What's poppin', everyone? Welcome to another episode of Remember When. My name is Jose. With me today are my boys Amir and Johnny. Say what's up, guys.
Spider-Man. Takes a dump in a coffee can.
Hey.
Peace, Uncle Ben.
Yo, shout out to Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben or Uncle Iroh?
That was the shittiest comparison. Oh, God.
Bro,
that was the shittiest
y'all are
comparison.
some haters. I don't know. Maybe
This motherfucker, okay, this man said Uncle Ben. Peter Parker's Uncle Ben versus Uncle Iroh. How does that mix?
first, get out my face. Second, Spider-Man was like the first movie I've seen in theaters. Uncle Ben, I cried looking at that shit as a kid, bro. I was like,
okay, that's what you mean as like a sentimental uncle who like nurtured you and cared for you.
I'm not saying like, will he beat up Uncle Iroh? The fuck? Like,
I thought he was talking about.
That's what y'all meant.
I thought
Absolutely.
I was like Uncle Iroh versus Uncle Ben.
I'm really here saying, I'm like, why these niggas coming at me like this? And I'm like,
well, it's just like when somebody says like Superman or Batman, you instantly thinking of a versus battle. You know what I mean?
We can't get sentimental.
You gotta say that from the jump.
These old niggas gotta throw hands.
Because Uncle Iroh does throw hands.
He does.
He worked out in prison.
Bro, he chilled out for a hot second.
He went to beat some ass, bro. Uncle Iroh's a motherfucking G, dude.
He is a monster.
He is a monster.
Yo, so we have some shout outs to you guys.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, well, first off, thank you to everybody that's been commenting, interacting with us, and participating in everything. We appreciate all of you very much. We recently did a video on our Instagram, which feel free to follow us at Remember When Podcast, where it's a quick clip of Anakin talking to Padme, and she just absolutely rejects him. And we were like, oh, do you have Riz? Me, right? And all of you have brought the comments to that one. That I love waking up and just like looking through it. You guys are so funny. It's hilarious, honestly, going through it. They're like Anakin Rizwalker, just all of it. But Amir, feel free to, or Johnny, feel free to hit us off with one of the shout outs.
I'll hit them up because it's mainly YouTube stuff. So shout outs on especially on our favorite SpongeBob quotes. I don't know where those people are pulling up from because we got over like 100 views. None of our other videos on the YouTube have really hit like 100 views like that. So seeing something like that, it warms our hearts.
Yeah, thank you for the support.
Yeah, we love y'all for that. But Nova Minx 7,300 says this needs to blow up ASAP. And you know what? I fucking agree. That video needs to blow up even more.
He said me personally.
But we appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love, bro. And then on the short of the would you rather be an author or be a chef, so we got ironic profile pic 6367. Be the author and your shit might get an adaptation. Just pray that shit is as good. Facts. And author 1000% says Foster Stubby ASMR 9557. And then Dre1, Lamau, as an author, I know the story I'm writing, so obviously I be the author, not even a competition. And then Ghostly Alpha 9773. Nigga, I like food, but I already have a reading deficiency because I'm black. I mean, that's fair. But I ain't gonna lie. Kind of confused about what you mean, because like I like food, but I already have a reading disability deficiency because I'm black. So you're saying so you're going with the food option. Okay, so you're gonna be a chef, I guess.
Makes perfect sense.
I'm still confused reading your shit, but we still love you because you commented and you're supporting the crew. Thank you to everyone who's supporting. We love y'all. Comment down more, and your name might be read on this segment too. Amir.
Yo,
we got more.
That comment gave me a stigmatism. But a lot of these are from the Insta. I be on Insta like crazy. For the best scream to have, someone said lemon grab from Adventure Time. Shout out Mario, who was just on the pod. But lemon grab is crazy. Another person, by the way, that was from Hood Heroic, the lemon grab comment. And then another one was Trey Blood, the Great 15, Homer startled or scared scream. And bro, the Star Wars post, someone called the surviving cell said, because when I met you, little Annie, you were 3 feet tall. Bro. And of course, the top comment is, I don't like sand.
Yeah.
Shout out Timo Barthier for that one.
All right, and then towards the end of the episode today, I will announce our trivia winners. We do every once in a while we'll do a trivia contest up in our Instagram story, and this time was about TV shows. So we put up the picture of the TV show or a moment from it, and then you all had to give us your answers, and we have a couple winners for that, which is really exciting that people got all the answers correct.
But what do they win?
What did they win?
Yeah.
Our love and affection.
Fuck yeah.
And Amir,
And $1,000
give him a
bank
joke.
account?
Give him a funny joke, Amir.
It's not a joke. I'll give you an incentive. If I hear your name pop up like 10 times in these responses in the post, I'll send the person a shirt.
There you go. You heard it here.
Hey.
I'll send 2 people a shirt there.
2 people shirts. So comment, subscribe, like.
We swear we'll remember your name.
Yeah.
Get the questions right.
Get them right. You better.
Don't miss a post, nigga. No, I'm sorry.
So aggressive. So for today's episode, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man for the PS1, or Spider-Man year 2000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So before we dive into that, do you guys have a favorite Spider-Man costume?
Damn.
Because for me, this is really easy. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan, but I love the Ben Reilly Spider-Man with the blue hoodie and the red underneath. That has always been my favorite Spider-Man design.
I like Spider-Man Unlimited. You know when he had the dark outline? It was in the show. I think it was it literally just called Spider-Man Unlimited, where he had the dark outlines with the red and blue suit. I think with the webs underneath. I like that suit.
Honestly, it's weird because I think it's kind of messed up now that it's in the movies, but comic, the Iron Spider suit, bro, I always thought that was hard because the legs were always out. He used it way more. It's not like the movie where it popped up.
Talking about the orange one?
Yeah, where it's like an Iron Man suit, but it's instead Spider-Man. So he has it
has the orange legs,
arms in the back and all that shit.
I had a toy of that. Thought that shit looked ugly.
Well, I mean, I love the newer Spider-Man games. That suit's in there, and it doesn't look that hot. I ain't gonna lie, but in the comics, it looks hot. But when Spider-Man PS1 came out, honestly, the armored Spider-Man was
the spider
probably
armor,
my favorite.
Spider armor.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a favorite one from the game itself, Johnny?
From the game itself, Unlimited, because I was in there too.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't there.
Mm.
I always thought the the Ultimate Cosmic Spider-Man?
Oh, Captain Universe?
Yeah, Captain Universe.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That one,
That's
because
solid.
at the time I had no idea what that was. I was like, what the
Yeah, it's
heck?
different.
And then, I mean, mind you, it was also God mode in the game where they were like, oh, if you wear this suit, you're invulnerable. So you literally just win the game. So it's a little unfair, but yeah.
Shout outs to Amazing Bagman. You're
Amazing Bagman.
Yeah. Shout outs to Amazing Bagman. You're not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Do you guys want to break down what the basic story or what the plot is of the game? Do you guys remember it?
So essentially, opening cutscene, Dr. Octavius is doing a TED talk about his fucking new invention. And then Peter Parker is talking shit man, Dr. Octavius, I hate you. And then meanwhile, Eddie Brock's man, I can't wait to get these pictures. And then all of a sudden, Spider-Man enters the crowd. But wait, Peter Parker's in the crowd. So how does that make sense? So Spider-Man steals Dr. Octavius' machine, and then everyone's confused. What the heck's going on here? Spider-Man's a crook. So now the police are on Spider-Man's butt. And now Spider-Man has to figure out and what's going on and clear his name. Meanwhile, we got Eddie Brock being mad because the imposter Spider-Man broke his camera. And now he's literally in the opening cutscene. He's like, I can't believe it. James is never gonna forgive me for this. And then as maybe he's schizophrenic or some shit. But he just hears Jameson's voice and goes Eddie Brock, you're a loser. You're a loser and you suck. You're trash. Can't give me those photos. Come on, what's wrong with you? And then Venom comes out, and then Venom's yeah, I'm gonna go get Spider-Man. And that's it. So far, is Spider-Man trying to clear his name, figure out what's going on, and is Dr. Octavius really behind the kidnapping of his own invention? Yes, but you figure out. But from there, it's a whole adventure. You meet so many different Marvel heroes. You meet Marvel villains. That game had it all. Especially for back in the day, I was entranced because for me personally, I think that was the first Spider-Man game I've ever played. Not only the first Spider-Man game, the first Spider-Man thing I consumed in general.
Okay, so first Spider-Man media that you consumed overall.
First Spider-Man media I've ever consumed because never really watched the cartoons, especially because most of them were in the 90s and I didn't get to watch those. And I didn't watch Spectacular Spider-Man. Literally, that was it. The video games is where I lived off for Spider-Man.
Okay.
That was the first
That's
one.
really interesting that was your first exposure. But at least you had a really great first exposure.
Yes,
to
sir.
it because it really followed the continuity and just stories that were in the comics.
Yeah, if you didn't know shit about Spider-Man, that was a perfect game to jump into.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll see like heroes like Punisher, you'll see Black Cat, and you'll be like, okay, who the hell are these guys? But for Spider-Man, it's perfect. You get a perfect synopsis.
Did you guys like the cameos that were in there of the different heroes? And if so, did you guys have a favorite cameo that happened in the game?
Honestly, because like that was one of the first games I ever like full on beat, you know what I mean? But shout out to kid mode. Shout out the modes because that kid mode helped people that were maybe a little slow. Me. I loved how like Daredevil pulled up because like I mean they do it now with the shows, but like a lot of those characters were New York based, you know what I mean? So seeing Daredevil pull up, especially when like a gas is filling the streets of New York, everyone's cleared out, only really acrobatic people should be out, especially if you're a roof like runner. And like when Daredevil pulled up, I'm like, that makes sense because like he would track down someone, especially Spider-Man, if he actually did this whole thing. Everyone else, though, I kind of was like, why are you here? I'm not going to lie.
You had Captain America, who only showed like
why was the Human Torch there?
Yeah, why was Human Torch there? He literally showed up for like barely a scene.
A lot of the cameos like pulled up just to be like, Spider-Man, you're evil now? And he's like, no, bro. Daddy, chill. And then they're like, you know what? I'm going to help you out. Yeah, go to the next episode. Yeah, all right, next level.
Well, they actually showed the Fantastic Four headquarters. I believe that's called the Baxter Building, or I forgot what it's actually called. But they do show that in the opening cutscene. It's like the Fantastic Four building is right there.
I didn't know that. I remember they had the Stark building. So
oh, okay, yeah.
That's the one I remember.
Yeah. No, if you get close to the Fantastic Four building, like Spider-Man will even make a comment. He's like, where are those guys at? Like in the game. Yeah. How did you... So I think you commented on Punisher. Yeah, how did you feel about his cameo in the game?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was just, am I gonna see Spider-Man get shot today? Like, I'm not gonna. Every time Punisher pulls up, he's usually shooting at someone. This is the only time I think where this man pulled up and he didn't shoot anybody. He kind of just, like I said, he was another cameo, so he kind of just pulled up and was like, yo, bro, what you doing? And then Spider-Man was like, wasn't me. And he was like, sure.
Yeah, I remember too in like the cutscene where he's introduced, he was like, oh, you need some help with that? And Spider-Man's like, no, I want to keep my body count low, bro. I ain't trying to, I don't need your help. I'm good.
That's crazy. He's literally looking down at his scope. He's like, who am I going to kill now? And then Spider-Man comes in the picture. He's like, oh, Spider-Man? I think I'm going to kill him. And then Spider-Man webs him. And he's just like, oh, he's probably after the same thing I am. I'm like, why did you switch so fast? That's
Bro,
crazy.
It could have been the imposter. He took your gun and said, yee!
This is crazy. So the first boss battle in the game was Scorpion. How did you guys feel, A, about his design being the more modern aesthetic and not the classic green suit that, you know, that we usually picture him being? And B, how did you feel about the boss battle in general? Like, did it play out for you guys?
Like, first off, I want to make a quick mention the lead up to the boss battle because Spider-Man Jameson calls Spider-Man and then he's like, oh, Jameson, what do you need? And Jameson's like, shut up, Peter. I need you to dial 911 right now. Because Scorpion's literally about to kill his ass. And it's like, wait a minute. So you called Peter, but you don't call 911? Okay, Jameson. And then you have to go save him. The boss battle, though, I thought Scorpion, especially as a kid, I thought he looked cool as hell. I thought it was the coolest villain design because I was like, he had the green, had the blue, and had the tail and shit. Boss battle was awesome. I was just throwing fucking furniture at him.
Throwing dust at him.
Yeah, bro. That was fun. I love that battle. One of my favorites.
Okay. How about you, Amir?
I love what they did in that game where, like, you know, it kind of showed that meter where, because the whole time, like, Scorpion is, like, taking his, like, he's taking his time going to Jameson. He's like, I'm going to kill your ass. Jameson, like, no! Like, and the whole time you just swinging towards over there in the calmest fashion.
I remember one, they said, Scorpion was like, Marco. He's like, Polo! I know for a fact he said that too.
Bro, and I don't know, it gave you a sense of urgency, especially with that like bar up top, and you saw like their faces, which made it clear as like what they were too. I just thought it was cool, but I thought that was the most satisfying fight because like he didn't like fuck you up crazy, and like you could just beat the shit. And every time, like, because it's an old game, like the psh, psh, like the sound effects, it just felt so awesome as a kid, like just beating the shit out of him and webbing him up, doing it again. Like,
Yeah, especially for like, we should probably give context to like the gameplay too, because like this is a PS1, so if you're expecting like Spider-Man 2 on PS2 or like the new Spider-Man like on PS4 with like the really detailed animation and web swing and all that, no, you're not getting that. It's more like a linear adventure.
very linear.
When you're web swinging, you're only doing like 2 swings and you're automatically lashing onto like a building. But to be honest, for a PS1, good enough because you got everything else. Like you could climb on walls. You had Spider-Man's powers, so you shoot. Like what was really cool was that like you could shoot different. You have like different type of web powers, so you could be like, if you hit triangle, you shoot web. But if you did like up triangle, you shot like a bullet web. Pretty much, you could get like some gauntlets, like some fist gauntlets. You could make a shield. You could do like a pull people towards you. So much variety. You fought like different thugs and shit. Like it was one of the coolest games like I ever played back in the day. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you could switch it up too because it wasn't like very stiff to where like, oh, if I decide to web him, I have to web him. No, bro, I could like initially web you just to stick you, beat you the fuck up. What I loved is the exploration that even though it was linear, like especially when you got into a building, I loved being in buildings, which is weird because it's a Spider-Man game. You'd expect like the outside to be the cool part. I loved inside because I remember, I think if you hit R1, you'd instantly zip to the top and then you'd be right above and then you can, still take people out from below. You had those bonuses that you could find around the map as well. So you could get the armored spider, the comic books. I loved getting all those collectibles because, I could look at it after and I thought it was sick at the time. It was PlayStation 1.
Definitely. You mentioned the collectibles. Did you go for mostly the comic book covers? Was that the main collectible you guys would try to go for in your playthroughs? Like when
I would try to find it. It's just back in the day, like I couldn't be like, where is it at? Like, you know what I mean? So if I found it, I found it. Really, I was just trying to get the armor and like a bunch of any upgrades I could find because I didn't know what else could be in the game because it was PlayStation 1 and they love to put little secrets in them games all the time.
Yeah, we didn't read manuals, so
we weren't that rich at all. So like, and we just got in the game and we're just trying to figure out what we could do. Hell, Johnny showed me stuff in the end with that boss fight, how quick he was zooming through it. I'm like, this man a speedrunner? Like,
and dude, like, I want to get that final boss later because like that should traumatize me. But like, dude, like the whole venture is like fantastic. Like you're fighting Scorpion. You'll see Rhino. You'll pull up on Mysterio. You're gonna see Venom. You see one of my favorite parts of the game is just Venom in general because that man's just a whole troll. Man just like pulls up on Spider-Man. It's like, hey, got to jump on you, Spider-Man. He hates it when I do this shit. Or it'd be like, Spider-Wuss, come out and play. Yeah. Like they made him wholly like fully goofy, but what I love about it too is that like later on they team up together, and I'm always a sucker for like a villain and the hero got to team up to fight like a common cause and like do it like and go beat some ass and shit. I love that. Like there's so many cool moments in the game that make it worth it.
Bro, I thought Venom was scary as fuck initially. I ain't gonna lie to you, especially when you were in the sewers trying to track this nigga down. Yep. Just because the way they made Venom look. He never stood still. Like, he was always moving. The symbiote on him was, like, stretching out and back and forth. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and I love the way they made his teeth because it reminds me of the old Venom comic book covers where that shit is just straight fangs, like, mouthful of teeth. And didn't he, like, the lizard was in the game, too, wasn't he?
He was in the
sewers.
A cameo.
Yeah.
So they had lizard. They had lizard men that you could fight in the sewer.
That's what I remember.
But the lizard himself was a cameo. If you took an incorrect path, like right in the beginning of that sewer level, you could run into him, and he's locked in the cage, and he'll do exchange
Venom
dialogue.
had him trapped. I remember.
Yeah. He'll be like, yeah, Venom kidnap me. And then he'll literally give you the directions to reach Venom. But he'll say it so quickly. He'll be like, left, right, up, back, down,
you
left,
had to
right.
remember it.
Yeah. He'll just tell you it. But like, again, you had to either memorize it, know it was coming and write it down or or just that crazy memory where you're just repeating it nonstop, But yeah, so he was in the game. I remember there was like an interview with the creators and they were saying how they wanted him to be an actual boss, but they were like, we just didn't have the time to make it a reality, basically. So yeah. I mean, but they did what they could. They said, yeah, I mean, we still threw him in there. So, which is pretty neat that they even were able to acknowledge him like that. Another boss that they wanted to have in there was Vulture.
That could have been cool. I don't know how they could do that.
Yeah, because you really didn't have fluid movement in that game, so I don't know how
he would have been the
I feel
only
like he'd be
aerial
lame
combat
if he's on
character.
his feet.
Yeah.
Like what? You just web him down and he comes down. And you hit him a couple times. Like I can see that.
That could work. I mean, it's like trying to put Green Goblin in the game. It's like, how you gonna make that shit work? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they couldn't. Like you said, they could probably do like you have to web him down and then beat his ass. But
yeah, I mean, they did it right in like the PS2 game, but like
yeah, but better technology because, like you said, the game was jank because like jumping around. I mean, the frame rate ain't all that. So it's like
no, it ain't.
I remember there were so many times
that shit 20 FPS,
especially during Mysterio because that man was like 15 feet tall. There's like 3 different stages of it that you have to climb and trying to jump up to the different layers. Pain in the ass, dog. Like it was hard. Probably like maybe the hardest boss battle next to like the final boss. I hated that boss.
Do you want to tell us who is behind everything?
All right, so, children, cover your ears because this is a hard one. Apparently, the main final boss was Dr. Octavius. Shit.
Okay, but who stole the technology?
It was actually Mysterio, and he was the imposter.
Yeah,
bro. How
imposter
many?
spider?
But it was kind of confusing because like he had the web. He webbed it.
That's the part with Mysterio I never got because they're saying like, oh, he's all illusions, but I'm also climbing this 13 feet tall dude. Like what? Like at what point do the illusions like stop becoming illusions? Like,
oh no. But like and on the side because he gets teased in the beginning and like other parts in the game. You see like another dark figure. It's like, oh, who the hell is that? And if you play the comics, like as a kid, I didn't know who the fuck it was. I was like, oh, who is that? You get fucking Carnage at the end. And at first I'm like, Red Venom?
well, in the sewers, I think it was like you partnered with Venom, and at some point he leaves because he's like, I smell Carnage. Like, yeah. So if you knew like what Carnage, but if you just hear him say, I smell Carnage, that could just be a line for real. You wouldn't even know you're referring to like a Carnage as a person.
Like the whole, those are the 2 final boss battles, and it's cool because at the end, Venom shows up, he's like, Carnage, I'm gonna beat your ass, and then they go do their own thing, you fight Doc Ock, and then after that, you think everything's all good. Venom gets his ass beat, so now you have to fight Carnage, beat him up, like do the I think you have to like do the high frequency shit, and there's like a shield generator. You gotta do some stuff with that. But then you think that's it, and you think, oh, game over. I beat Carnage. I beat Doc Ock. What else is there? I beat the whole game. No, motherfucker. Fusion! Ha! Dude, probably one of the coolest concepts too, because it literally comes out of fucking nowhere. Like you beat Carnage, the symbiote comes off of him, and it's Cletus, Cassidy. Drops into the area where Doc Ock fell down. All of a sudden, it sounds like, man, everything's all good. Holy shit! And then you just see Doc Ock's tendrils come up, and it's all red. And you just see Doc Ock with the Carnage symbiote, and you're like, what the fuck?
This nigga looking scary as fuck, too. I ain't gonna lie.
And it's crazy, too, because you don't even fight him. You run away from him. He's that fucking powerful.
Bro, it's scary, because, like, it just zooms out, and then you're just standing there like this, and all you see is these big ass legs moving towards you, and this creature in the middle that's red, just like,
dude. It was, as a kid, I was fucking. I think I turned the game off,
bro. I paused that shit and didn't come back for like a day. I ain't gonna lie,
because literally you're just running away, and this is like the first person perspective, so it was shift to the side too, and you're just running away from this man. And if you got caught, this man will get on you, die. And I was like, he killed Spider-Man. Holy shit. But that was one of the coolest ways to end the game. Dr. Octavius with the Carnage symbiote looked vicious. Like, I'm surprised maybe they did some shit with that in the comics. You could probably like tell me if they did.
Apparently that was an original character for the game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
They didn't start incorporating like, oh, Venom moved to this person. Venom moved to, oh yeah, like Winter Soldier now has Venom. They didn't start doing that till like more later.
Yeah, symbiotes didn't have stories like that. They were still like shrouded in mystery.
They never
for the
really
most part.
deviated from Spider-Man moving from Peter Parker to Eddie Brock. That was like rare. But like Carnage, like leaving like Cletus Cassidy, like that was unheard of, like especially back in that day.
Yeah, that's still awesome. I love that. Even though you didn't even get to fight him, just being like, he's so powerful you can't fight him and you have to run. That's awesome. That was a perfect way to end it too. Because once you beat him, once you run away, you're good. The end.
Did you guys play the what if mode? So in the what if mode,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
in your battle with Carnage, he's running around, but his voice is the voice actor that plays as Carnage, something Baker. I forgot his name, but it's his kid that's voicing the Carnage, right?
Yo,
so
really?
Carnage is like, "Come back here, Spider-Man! Spidey, nah, nah, nah."
Bro, they should have put that in the kid mode. They should have put that in the kid mode. That would have been great, bro.
I can't tell what was scarier, like the father or the child, because like having a kid voice Carnage is just like, it's hilarious but terrifying all at the same time, because you're just like, what the hell is going on?
That's awesome. I knew there was a what if mode. I don't think I ever played it. Because what did you have to beat the game, or was it like one of those things you got to get in the code?
I think you could get the cheat code for it, but I think it should unlock automatically if you beat the game.
If you beat it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you beat the game, you get it. But I know for a fact cheat code.
Damn.
You could do that. And then for the Doc Ock fight, it like looks like an acid trip because like they have like all these crazy graphics to go on screen. They make Doc Ock like smaller, so that way like it's a little bit easier because there's so much distractions going on. And they just have like these faces that are just rolling around. It's like or like switches between like yellow and pinks, just like highlighting through, just like constantly rolling. You're like, what the fuck? Like you're literally tripping as you're fighting Doc Ock. It's insane,
dude. I'm gonna have to look that up because I don't think I've ever explored that what if mode. That's awesome.
Bro, it kills me how they ended that game where it's just like, all right, yeah, like we're all good. Poker? Like,
you almost,
bro, they were on like all the heroes and everybody that pulled up just playing poker. You just go to the villains, they just in jail.
They play poker, they play like Go Fish.
Oh yeah, that's what.
You want crazy too? Daredevil's in there, and I'm like, how is he reading?
This nigga blind.
No, what's even worse is that Punisher literally said, "You've been looking at my cards this whole time." He's like, Daredevil really looks at him. He's like, "Bro, how?" He's like,
this man Daredevil's like, "I know when you're lying." So it's like, how do you still? You're blind. Fucking bullshit.
And then the villains, you got Rhino over here. He'd being like, "I told you I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner." Oh, I read my cards wrong.
Yo, in that same cutscene too. When I was looking at it, I never noticed this, but it's like where Mysterio's sitting. If there's a poster in the back, it's just like one of those females, like a model, and it's just Mysterio's head on top of her. I'm like,
it's a Mysterio helmet on top of it.
I've never noticed that. That is so fucking funny. I love that.
Yeah, his kind of girl is like a Sandy Cheeks, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wild.
Like him with that dome.
Fucking wild, man.
Solid dome. An impenetrable dome.
Did you guys ever do the training mode, or did you just jump straight into the game?
I jumped straight into the game.
I played with the training mode after, but like I didn't do it before the story.
So in the training mode, they have a secret room that's like Kraven's room, Kraven the Hunter.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They have a secret room in there. And then if you do target practice, which is like essentially another practice mode, all the different targets that come up are different Marvel characters that they couldn't put inside the game, but they put up as little targets or whatnot. And some of the characters they have Morbius, the Jack-O-Lantern, Hobgoblin. They have Doctor Doom. They even put up some heroes as well, so you'll have like Captain America and Thor come up there.
Wow.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
It's a rotation of different characters that like they couldn't physically put in the game, but they still wanted to include in the game.
See, and that's awesome because I'm glad. It was Insomniac who made this, right?
Activision?
Activision.
It was the same people that did Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Because
Yeah,
you
was
saw a
definitely
million
Activision.
ads for Tony
Yup.
Hawk Pro Skater 2 in the game.
You see all
It was
that
every
shit.
single billboard, every single level.
Bro, the amount of ads in those old ass games is shameless. Like people complain all the time, why the fuck this ad popping up on my app? Bro, in the old games, the
would just
game
be
would
blatant.
start and it would just be 3 other game previews. I'm like, what? Like,
Only thing I remember in the intro, remember that eye that would get stabbed?
oh yeah, it
Yeah.
go right down in the
Yeah.
middle.
I think it
Uh-huh.
was Neversoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like that. All I
They
remember is
needed to
that.
update that, bro. Bro, that reminds me of like the Valve logo where it's just a bald head and this dude that has like
So, do you guys have any final words, any final thoughts about this game that you want to tell our audience?
It's not the best Spider-Man game, but god damn it, it's one of the good. It's one of the best. It is one of the best. I'll put it, honestly, I'm glad. I'll put it up there with like Spider-Man 2, the new PS4 Spider-Man. I'll put it up there because I'm, nostalgia and I'm biased. But like, I love that game. It's a classic, and it was a good love letter because, like you said, they got they got Marvel characters in the training. You got Kraven, you got Lizard, and all the main villains that actually appear in the story. It felt like an actual love letter, and it's not even based off anything. It was just something that they just created. It was perfect. I love that game.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more solid older games that I've played. So I think if you're a fan of old video games, then definitely check this one out. Check out a lot of the sequels because they made hella sequels after this one because this was a success. If you like more modern stuff, like not that old back, I'd probably recommend Spider-Man 2 for the PS2.
Yeah, if visuals are not an issue, go check out this game because, like Johnny said, it's truly a love letter to Spider-Man and to Marvel. Stan Lee even narrates part of the game, or actually the entire game. Yeah, he narrates it. So if you really miss Stan Lee, R.I.P. to the legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go check out the game, go play it, go revisit it. It's just chock full of Easter eggs and just and it's a pretty quick game to play too. It's a little under 2 hours or right around 2 hours.
Yeah, and I think if you go like kid mode, you could definitely beat it in like 5.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can speed run it, but definitely go check out the game. So, now it's time for the trivia winners. So,
hell yeah,
let me pull up our winners.
Let me hear them winners.
Yeah, so we have. Our first winner was Reshin _. So Dragon is their name. They got all 5 correct, which is pretty impressive.
Hell
nice.
Yeah.
That's one down in your books.
There we go. We love you, Russian Dragon.
Russian Dragon. And then our
like
other winner
alcohol.
is
I'm just saying.
Our other winner is Cassie Jean. She's been a huge fan of the podcast, has been loving it so far, and she knocked it out the park with trivia as well.
All right, Miss Jean, let's go.
We love you, Miss Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Jane.
Sorry, Miss
Jane.
Jackson.
Well, thank you all so much for listening and watching. Be sure to comment what your favorite Spider-Man game is. Is it Spider-Man PS1? Is it one of the newer games? Or is it some hidden gem? Don't give me a Spider-Man app on your phone. Don't give me that. I don't want that nonsense. No, you better hit us with a fire game. That's what we're needing. Because if we get an app, Amir's gonna come after you. He's gonna come after you.
That's big facts. That's big facts.
All right, remembers. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. We love you all so very much. Until next time, peace out.
Electro.
Remember When is a Sweet Recording production. Check them out at suiterecording.com.
Intro and outro created by our very own Johnny.
Subscribe, listen, and remember to review wherever you are on social media. Thanks for listening.